Tuesday, about 1 o'clock. Dad and I have been hauling logs this morning, and we've hauled all of those logs in that pile in here today from the same place where we have a dust bowl issue. We got them all done. There was 6 loads of it. I'd hauled a couple the other day when I bought them, so it was about 8,000 foot. So I did, just on a random gooseneck behind Mildred my truck. And just in the last few minutes, this has blowed in. Probably dropped the temperature 15 degrees. Feels pretty good now. We were up in the 90s already, I'd imagine. The wind's now blowing from the north. We had 0 chance of rain today. This is what we put up with in northeast Oklahoma, where I live. People predict the weather, but they're trying to predict something that's totally unpredictable. So I don't think we'll get any rain out of it. It looked like there wasn't no back into it. It sure is blowing dust everywhere. I don't know, that cloud right there is kind of falling. I have to get my shades off to where I can determine it's a cloud or something else. I don't know. I hope I get back over and load my loader up and get back home before it starts to raining. Quick as that's moved in, if it's gonna rain, I doubt if I'll make it. Had a new purchase yesterday and I sold one. Sold a tractor I'd been using for quite a long time. Look at that, blowing all the leaves out of the trees. You can't see it from my dirty windshield, I know. Well, I'll tell you more about the purchase, and maybe this video won't come out until I've got it all home. Well, by crappy, it did come a shower. The sun come back out, but it's on the back side of the cloud. We got hit by a little one there where I've been getting logs at, but it's still just pouring north here, kind of blowing south, obviously. Had a bunch of dead, small trees that the electric company had sprayed, blowed over in the road up here when I went by earlier. Sorry for the shaky video. I can't drive and do this at the same time. Standard transmission. Ride my ride home. I got the LS 160 loaded. Headed home. There's some of that brush out in the road. Somebody'd stop and put that back off the road because that was plumb out in the middle when I went through here a while ago. As well as this one. Somebody just run through that one. No thunder in that, no lightning, nothing like that, just cold air and rain. Cold air, not near cold enough in my opinion, but apparently we're chasing the rain away because the sun's beating us ahead of us. But yeah, it rained a little bit. Well, we got Scott's feed wagon filled up. It right there. It'll hold about 1,500 pounds. He got done sawing for the day, and I got started making a little firewood, but he had a tire for the front of his, he has a 1490 case he bush hogs with, had a hole in it, so we patched it, and he helped me do it. I bought a little spring tooth cultivator. I don't know how big the thing is. It must be, good grief, it must be 25 feet wide. We done took them off, but right over there is the tires that was on the ground on it. It's folded up. And the first one had one rusty spot on it pretty bad on the wheel. We just putting some old junk car tire takeoffs that I had laying around here on them. this one's really bad. All that crap come off from here. I just beat it with a hammer. Most folks would say that won't seal. It had a tube in it, but the hole's good. We're gonna see if it'll seal. But 35 pounds of air in it. No leaks on the front side. Let's try the back. Better, you'll have to set it down. Oh, there's one. What are we gonna do about that? Just a little piece of rust. Two of them. I'll break it back down again, I guess. We got it. Everything shut off and we tested it and it ain't leaking on the bead no more. Just needed a little more grease. So I got my 2 tires ready to go pick up a piece of equipment tomorrow. And Scott helped. And we both look just about that greasy. Huh. Well. I got some more new to me equipment coming maybe later this week, and I'll give you a look at a piece you can kind of see in the corner of this picture. Cow checking this morning. This is the next day, Wednesday morning. Calves are getting size to them. Takes a little longer to count the cows because you have to kind of sort them out. Here. Two steers right there look the same size. Well, the one laying down's still a bull. He ain't been worked because he didn't come in the day that we caught him to work him. 2 or 3 of them out here, and he's the biggest red one, and then I got a black one. Gonna be nut cutting day when I catch them. Good morning. I should have got some video of that if I had 3 hands, but I don't. And I don't know if we can get where you can see it over there. I had a new purchase sitting right over there. We pulled home yesterday morning, Wednesday morning, and it's a field cultivator. I bought it on the cheap. It doesn't have any shovels, but it's got a back scratcher. I only give about scrap price for it, so got plans on using it though. And then I bought this International wire tie 440 square baler, and somebody's gonna say I had one like it, and I do, and I like it real well. But this one's really nice compared to the one I've got. I think I only seen 2 pickup teeth missing. And I've looked it over and tried to figure it out. It's got to be original paint on it. I just don't think it's set out in the weather at all. And but it hadn't been used several years, so we're gonna give it a try. And these are too wide to haul on a trailer, so I built this thing quite a while back when we went to look at one, but didn't wind up buying it. And you have to have boards to get it up quicker so the back end clears. You have to have a tongue just about on the ground. And then I took a piece of 12-inch I-beam that was trailer house tongue frame and welded some 3-inch channel iron to it for stakes for my stake pockets. And that mailer rode home with the wheel hanging off this side all the way. All right, gotta get busy. Well, I'm back at this. We actually got worked on my pickup and had to put a new starter on it, on Freedom, and a push button switch to make it start. I've just cut my first piece here this morning, Saturday morning. I have an appointment to be at noon, so we're gonna go at it like this, see how much we can get cut here. I've got a couple orders I might get delivered the first of the week, so I'll bring you back in a little bit. Well, I got that cut up. I wanted to give a little, I don't know if I've ever done this or not, on this Halverson wood processor I've got. This is it on the front of my skid steer. It hooks up with the 2 auxiliary lines, and then it has a wiring harness, and then it has a case drain for the saw motor, and that just drains back into the hydraulic reservoir. You can actually fix one of those up. This skid loader didn't have one. I had to put one on it. But it has some controls, so because it works off of the auxiliary hydraulics right here, this is how you operate the auxiliary hydraulics on this skid loader. And it works out to where back is powering that whole unit. And so I can hold that over with my hand on the cage and hold that while I'm operating it, because you kind of set the thing down with the log on it and cut the log all up. And then you can see the wiring harness puts you 3 buttons on the front here of the handle. It did have it this way on both handles. On this side, this one is the clamp down and this one is the clamp up, and this one was a redundant switch that doesn't work anymore anyway. And this thing's a couple years old. But I had a lot of trouble with the switches on the other handle control, and I could operate them even with my thumb being gone like it is, but it was just the switches that give me trouble. So I changed them around and fixed them to this. And these are just some little $9 push button switches I got at the auto parts store, and I've actually ruined one of them already. These 2 here, you can see how they're rusty on top from being used so much, and I actually put my hand on them and push down with the heel of my hand to operate them. It works really easy. That's the only thing I have to do with my left hand. Don't worry about why that says right. This one runs the table forward, and this one runs the table backward, and this one operates a saw. And so that's how that works. It was 9 o'clock when I filmed the little piece that was before here, and it's 10:30 now, and I probably spent 15 minutes stopping and texting and talking to people on the phone. But I had 2 piles of logs in here that I've cut all this up in about an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. And there was only one piece I couldn't bust right there. I was trying to get him jostled around where I could try hitting him a different way, and it come out, so I didn't bother putting it back in there. I get a pile of those and then get one of the boys to help me. And there was a couple of them logs pretty big. That piece right in there is really too large, but I'll probably send it right along. A lot of the customers I've got buying wood right now are wood boilers, outdoor wood boilers. And they don't mind them big pieces. They like them better. Those outdoor wood boilers burn good on the big pieces. But probably, if you figure out this pile of wood right here is about 2 loads on my truck. So there's a couple $100 worth of wood. I busted up this morning, Saturday morning. And so while I got you here, without having to make a different piece to this, I thought I'd go. And I think we've already looked at these a little bit, but not really close. So one of them, the other one not. Yeah, I got quite a little bit of firewood. Everything basically this side of the door right now is firewood. This side of the door is sawmill building. That pile right there, the whole pile is too big to just run across my deal. And some of these pieces like this one, I'm gonna cut it back to 8.5 foot, and it's still a saw log. Maybe this one too. And those big hickories, I've got a buyer for those, so that's kind of how that goes. But I showed you all that I had purchased a digger. I don't know if I ever showed you that I found a disc. I bought a heavy 3.8 foot disc, and I've got a railroad iron drag that I'm going to use to pull behind this. It's a Massey Ferguson brand disc, and it's set to where it's fixed to where you can set the gang angles on the front and the rear, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, at least on the front. It just sets the front, but I'm going to use that to break that up over there at Wilcox's when I get ready to. This one was a little cheaper. I made him an offer on it. He was asking a whole bunch more money than what I was going to give, and I made him an offer, and he took it real quick. But I was thinking that 10-foot drag would work really good behind that, and I could pull behind the 1086. That 10-foot drag is really heavy to pull, but the thing I liked about it, it's old style, and they don't really have bearings. They have greasable. They may call them bearings, but they're not really bearings. And then this little jobby over here, we got the front tires off from it, but I got me a spring tooth Hera, and when that folds out, it's going to be over 20 feet. Edge of the tines to edge of the tines is 13 feet, so I'd say the back section's 10 feet. I don't know, it's got a hydraulic cylinder on it, but this thing's been set in a long time. And I got it from a buddy of mine that trades farm equipment. And I bought it for about scrap iron price. And I got to looking at it, and heck, if a person was gonna scrap it, he'd need to cut all them gangs apart and the tongue, and there's a few other pieces of pretty heavy square tubing that's long enough to make a fence post. And it might be worth more in fence posts, and you'd still have scrap to sell than what it is for a digger. But anyway, we're going to use this digger, and I kind of got another project going on in tandem with that one. I know I got a lot of crap going. In tandem with that one is this one. I bought a new to us rake. It's a M&W. It'll be a 12 wheel. It's missing a wheel. It has one wheel that half the teeth on it's messed up. They've tried to put longer teeth in it to replace teeth that wasn't as long, and I don't know what all. These may have had bigger wheels on it. Almost looks like it does on the ones that haven't been replaced. But the thing had 2 flat tires, and it has bad hoses on it. But I bought it on the cheap. You can't find these for $5,000. And this one's had some repairs on it, but it looks to me like it'll work, and it needs some work. We bought a set of tires and have been working on mounting them up. He got 3 of them mounted up in the shop right now. But this had 2 tires that was up on it, and they're all 15s, same as the ones on the digger. They're 15-inch too, and they're kind of hard to come by. We looked through all my used tires, and I had 2 15s. We had to take one of them off a rim to put on that digger to tow it home. And this happened to have 2 on it, so it's getting the 2 that's coming off of this that was good to going on the digger. And then when we get it all on wheels again, start working on the hydraulic lines. It's got 2 cylinders there, up there that folded out, and they told me this is just like a Citrix. I have no idea. MW brand. And it's got 2 cylinders that folded out, and then it's got 2 cylinders, one on each side, that raises the sides up. And I've been needing one that was fixed in the back to where it didn't make big wads in the windrow, or other rakes getting some wear on it. And I wasn't really needing one bigger than what we've got, because sometimes our windrows get stupid big anyway. But that's kind of my projects here that we've been working on this week, in amid some other stuff. But I'm hoping that'll help us make a better round bale. If you can spread the windrow out to be the width of the baler pickup, a lot of the time you'll do better, because you get the edges of your bale full. And when you get the edges of the bale full, it makes the baler turn them harder. And New Holland figured this out, and so they put that mega wide baler pickup on theirs. It has little augers that stuff I think they actually call them stuffers, stuff the sides in. But anyway, I know this video's been kind of a hodgepodge mess of stuff that we've got going on. That's kind of how it's worked out this week. And we'll have another sorghum check Monday or Tuesday. So thanks for watching. We'll talk at y'all later.